have an absolute treat for you. You're very lucky that you're given this recipe of mine. Obviously it's not completely mine because buttered chicken hasn't come from me, but the vegan style and the recipe that I've got here has come from me. And all the basics have come from the general buttered chicken, but for me what I've done is there's a couple of extra things that I've added in there. So it makes it a little bit more complicated, I suppose, when you're not using butter and you're not actually using chicken for buttered chicken. Why am I doing this? Well, to show you, but also to the fact is that Kelly and I, we've got a caravan on Tuesday morning, and what it means is that it's come round to our turn to provide the food for the other agents. They go out and they have a look at a number of houses, and then they come back because they're generally quite hungry, but they're going to be into having, well, is it a treat or not? I don't know. So we're doing the plant-based vegan buttered chicken and with rice, and we've pre-made the rotis for them, and they're going to have cashew cheese on that as well. So let's get going, shall we? First of all, if you are actually from Christchurch, New Zealand, I have to tell you about the tofu man. This is where we get our tofu freshly from. We'll put that in the link of where he is. Unless, Kelly, do you know what that name of that street is?
I think it's Brigham Drive, isn't it?
There we go, it's Brigham Drive.
Is it Brigham Drive? I might just have to check that.
So we'll check that for you. Now, just getting out the tofu, to start off with, you've got to sort of just break it up here. This is already on the frying pan because we're going to make it look as those who plant-based or vegan are going to sort of be used to having their chicken, aren't they? And they're going to go, yuck, tofu. Probably still will go yuck anyway, but anyway, I might as well give it a go. It's my turn, I can cook what I want to. Some will be polite and some won't be, and then others will just say, oh, it's quite nice. Because it is really nice, very tasty. And lots of love goes into this. So look at this here. Let's see how that is all sitting. Reasonable sorts of chunks in there. Let's do one more. Actually, we won't do one more because I actually pre-made some before to show you what it looks like. But we'll let that cook and, excuse me, just gotta wash my hands.
This actually smells amazing without even anything being cooked. It smells amazing.
It's all these herbs, isn't it? Okay, so while that's actually cooking, we've got to get the rice on there because, do you know what? We are so hungry from our open homes. We already took our food with us today, but, well, you still get hungry. Let's turn it on to cook. We've only put 1 cup in there and we'll make a fresh lot of rice for them, which we'll probably have to do about 6 cupfuls. So this whole recipe has been made for, I don't know whether it's 10, 15 people for Tuesday morning. We're going to actually put in there some measurements for when it's more for 2 people and if you want to have some leftovers. So while this is just cooking over here, I've turned it right up because all this moisture which is in here all needs to come out. I'm going to put in a little bit of pepper and salt as well. It's really a waste of time putting this in here because you're not going to taste the pepper and salt while that's cooking in there with all of what we've got down there. Okay, so that's all doing its thing over there. Rightio, I just want to go through and just tell you what's actually in here because my God, you've got to have flavour, don't you, in it? So we've got ginger, and there's a lot of ginger there. Garlic. You're actually supposed to use quite a bit of chilli, but I sort of have done a little bit less because I don't know all the agents actually on how strong they can have it. And I like to have a mixture so that you get it in a different sort of strength of like the chili, what's the other one called?
Cayenne?
Cayenne pepper. And so you'll see that.
So is that a mixture?
That's just a mixture of 2. You can see the
Could you just
2 different sorts there.
Just back slightly. Perfect.
Okay. And then of course, most people know the turmeric. And then we've got over here, how could I forget what that one's called? Oh, that's the cumin one. I'm gonna forget what it's called because it's one of my favourites. We actually buy the seeds and we bake them, and then what we do is grind them down in the NutriBullet. This one here is basil and coriander, and that's just something you just buy, you know, at the supermarket in a packet. And then cinnamon. Yes, there's cinnamon in there. You all know cinnamon because that's, you know, one that we use. But one that I wasn't so familiar with at all, and let's look on that. Oh yeah, you're doing good over there. It's got a funny sort of name, like, looks a little bit sort of like tea, or looks a little bit like marijuana, doesn't it? I've seen it on TV, of course, what that stuff looks like, and that looks a little bit like it.
Can you remember the name?
Fenugreek.
Fenugreek.
Yes, is what that is, and that's what Kelly can actually smell. It's quite strong. And that, as far as we're concerned, Kelly and I, is what, that's what does that sort of buttery smell. So when we have cooked this at work, and people, the agents go, gosh, that smells nice.
I just got another.
Is that?
Got a chicken with.
And that's fenugreek as well.
Oh, is that the seeds?
I don't actually know what that is, but you can get it from any Indian store. Okay, so just ask them. You know, this stuff called fenugreek. Tea, lemon, you've got to have the sugar in there. And this is where this can be a little bit of a problem for me, but look, I'm going to give it a go. I might be able to I'm going to have some tonight, but I don't know if I'll be able to have it tomorrow. Anyway, you can see it's golden syrup. Onion.
What would you normally use if you...
Dates. Don't know if the dates are going to give quite the sort of the bang that it needs to have, so have this in it,
Okay.
because it gives a good balance. And of course, buttered chicken has that sort of colour to it, doesn't it? You always see it in the malls or when you go out to dinner, and don't really like using this sort of stuff, but we are going to put it in there to create the colour. So the onion, the cashew cheese with that and this, it mixes up, giving that sort of really rich sort of colour along with the tomatoes. And there you go. And just for watering it down, we just use, Kelly and I, leftover tea. Right, that rice is cooking. And so is this over here. Yeah, pretty good. It's almost, this is what you use for when you're making scrambled eggs. I know what you're all thinking. Gosh, she's been using that thing in there, and look at her, she's lost all this.
She's ruined it.
She's ruined it. Yes, I have, because I do so much cooking. But my birthday soon, and we're saving money. Guess why? Have a look at the link. Welcome to our channel. We are Louise and Kelly. Join us as we prepare to take on the world, exploring full-time from 2022 by cooking meals, reducing waste and saving money. We hope you enjoy this video. That's what we're up to. It's cooking along nicely in there. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just go and pause for a minute, because this can take anywhere from probably about, well, when you've got this much, it can take up to about 10, 12 minutes. So see you in a minute. What I actually had done is I mentioned to you that I had some pre-made tofu. So that's this here, and see how it looks. See that? And I also have some other tofu. I'm just sort of trying to mix it up different ways. I must actually do a what you call a video for you at some stage to see the different ways of how you can do tofu. This actually, well, it has been baked, and all it's had is just a sprinkle of soya sauce on it, and with it, having that on there, it just makes it a little bit crispier on the outside.
Can you hold that one and that one under there to see the three different ones?
They look quite different, don't they? So they have different types of textures, but that one in there is going to end up looking like that.
I'm going to go and put a cold beer in the fridge. Just made me want beer really bad.
Look at that. See how it's sort of, you keep those bits in there to keep them looking like
bits of chicken.
Suppose. I mean, it's never going to taste like chicken, is it? This is not chicken, it's tofu. But so back to what I was saying about this frying pan and using this. Look, I use it so much, and we're saving, so I won't be buying one, but fabulous. And it's my birthday soon if I got something like this. Guess what? Won't be using this in it if I did. If I was fortunate, lucky.
So what you're trying to say is you need a new scraper as well.
Yeah, look what I've done to this thing. Mind you, it still cooks alright in there.
Has that got much longer?
It hasn't got too much longer in there.
How's your Airbnb going?
Our Airbnb is going amazing, and we're having the nicest of nice people. And the whole reason of why we're doing this is to meet all the different people from different places from around the world for when we travel, that we get to know, pre-know people, their cultures and beliefs, hearing their accents, everything. By the way, change the subject, how are you all doing at the moment with what's going on around the world? Love to hear how you're getting on. It's not easy. I know that we're not in, well, you probably know too, New Zealand isn't in lockdown anymore, but we have felt it and we do know what it's like. And of course Australia, with friends of ours over there, are back in full-on lockdown. So what are you doing to keep yourself busy? Hopefully you are watching this video and learning something a little bit different. Love to hear from you anyway. So if you've got a recipe or something different that you'd like to suggest, please comment below. But also don't forget to push the like button as well. We'd be happy with that, wouldn't we?
Or the subscribe button. I mean,
the subscribe button would be really good. Yeah, we need to start out.
And just while that's still cooking, a van popped up on Trade Me today, didn't it?
Oh yes, it did. It wasn't a 170 extended Mercedes, but it was a Ford Transit. And well, some people say not to go with the Fords, but we thought we'd pop down and have a look. It's just down the road. And one of my first cars I ever bought were from that company. So, pop down to there and have a look. But they weren't open. Tell you what, I used to work when I was in the car business. I used to work on a Sunday. Anyway, people have got to have breaks, don't they? Look at this, how it's cooking. See how all the moisture's getting out of it now and it's getting all into its thing. See, all of this which is left in here is going to be fine, when I throw the onions in there in a minute. It just stays in the bottom there. Absolutely fine. So that's just about ready to come out. Kelly's arm. How's your arm feeling holding on to that
It's fine.
camera?
I just realised what made me want a beer when I lifted the phone up there. Up there.
Mm-hmm.
Those two mugs, those two beer mugs. That's what caught my eye. Made me
About
want a
travelling,
beer.
gosh, that was fun times. That was really good in Germany, wasn't it?
Do you remember where you got them from?
We got them from a hotel where Elvis Presley stayed during the war. He stayed there, and actually, apparently, how it goes is that the bed that he slept in, that the sheets are still the same sheets, and you can actually go and stay there.
And people pay a fortune to sleep in
Pay a
the
lot
same
of money.
bed.
And so we had a beer, and I've never liked beer, but that was delicious. Because I don't really as a rule drink alcohol.
Miltenberg.
Oh gosh, that was amazing.
Because we were sitting at the table with Milton.
That's so funny. And we got those spiders from there too.
That's right.
Not real spiders, they're wrought iron spiders, and they look like tarantulas. There's like the mama and the baby.
They're down here somewhere.
Yeah, they are.
Whoops.
Along came the spider and sat down beside her. I'm not a singer, but yeah. Look at those little wee babies. See, what you can do is actually put hooks on there. They're very heavy.
Yes, so don't think they're coming in the van.
There's no reason why they couldn't to keep us company.
Well, because You pay for the weight
in petrol.
and the petrol.
And the other thing, too, is what was I going to say about those spiders, is that another country, when Kelly and I first got together, because we're not too far away from being together, 20 years now actually, is that when we went to Thailand, way back in the day of, we were a bit naive and
Yes, but we wouldn't do that now, would we?
we wouldn't be allowed to do it either, but have
You
a
bought
real
yourself
tarantula. Because anybody who knows me knows I like spiders. Not necessarily that I like surprises with spiders just to turn up anywhere. Okay, let's get the onions in. Has that already heated?
Must have.
Shiz, that's quick. In goes the onions. They've got to soften up.
Is that plastic okay next to the...
Thank you.
Oh, so you've taken the tofu out and
Yes.
put the onions in.
Did I say that to everybody? Take
Oh,
the tofu
probably. I
out.
was just too busy looking at the spiders.
Take the tofu out. Now this is for, remember this is for a lot of people, and we'll just put it up there on how much you use for a couple of people. So you would still just keep that all at the bottom there, just adds to the flavour. I like a bit of a smoky sort of flavour to things. Not really used to cooking with that many onions. We certainly don't cook for that many people, do we?
Might take a lot longer to cook.
Yeah, but it's mainly just the onions, and then you add all that, and it doesn't take very long after that at all.
So it's just onions, tofu, and
And all
herbs.
those other things.
Do you want the lid on it?
No. No, the lid will create a bit of moisture that we want right now. I have to say too, I am not happy. I am not happy. Look. Oh, yes. See that? See how much is in there? Why is it that New Zealand is not allowed to import my amino acids anymore? Our health...
It's because you've been telling everyone about them and they've all sold out.
We can't get any of it because we don't have it in
They're not
New
importing.
Zealand. They're just not importing them anymore, and we even tried on Amazon to bring it in, and they're not sending it to us. Is this because of the COVID? What is it because of? If anybody was happy to
Post.
post a whole lot of that, we're happy to buy it because it is a necessity in our cooking, and I feel really good taking this because this replaces my salt rather than using actual salt.
So anyone in America? This comes from America. Where are we?
Happy to send any of that over.
Australian importers. Santa Barbara, California.
So I've had to go back to using the soya sauce again. I think I'm better off using that because I use it in everything, but I don't know if I'm better off using that than salt. But you know, as we get older, our biggest problem is inflammation, and inflammation is something that none of us want. So I don't want any of our clients, when they come to our open homes, having trouble bending down, getting their shoes on and off or anything. But not that I'd be telling them to go to this channel and watch the food that we cook and realise that salt is not a very helpful friend for that. But I don't know what we're going to do, whether, can anybody give a suggestion whether soy sauce is better to replace that with, or whether I should be just using salt. Oh, and the other thing I have to tell you all too is that everybody's been getting a bit cheeky at work and they're saying, is Kelly still cutting your hair? So I don't know whether to take that as a compliment to the fact is that she's doing a good job or not, but check out this haircut. What do you think of that fade?
And the other side.
Is that good or what? That's what I wanted. I'm not saying they weren't doing a good job of where we were when I was going before, but we're saving money. Jeez, can't quite open this thing. Plastic. It's going to get off, isn't it? What's those spiders doing?
So what have you got there?
Well, I'm just wondering, oh yeah, there is 3 holes in there. Just using some of that.
Tamari.
Almost forgotten how to use this stuff because I'm so used to using the amino acids. The other day I used a wee bit of amino acids and I used some of that and 2 of us, oh gosh, you can't eat that. It's so salty. See, the onions are all softening up now. You need them to be softened up before you start adding everything else in there. Although I will start getting the ginger in there now. Okay, ginger. Spread it around a wee bit. Where do we get these wee bowls? We always do this to each other.
I don't remember the name, but I remember the store because I got the teapot.
Yeah.
It's in Germany. And they had the fair going.
Quite good. We were with all those other people from the river cruise, I think it was, wasn't it, actually? And they're saying, you girls, hey, you New Zealanders, but we love watching you buying your little bits and pieces.
Oh, that's right, because when we got back on the bus, they wanted to see what we'd bought.
Yeah. We said, well, how come you're not buying anything? And they said, oh, you get to an age, you've got everything and you don't need it. But we like watching what you girls get.
They were probably thinking, who in their right mind buys a glass teapot on the other side of the world?
Some things we just don't have here. You're a bit mix up. You can I can really, can you smell the ginger in there and the garlic? Oh, those of you who are like fructose intolerant, there was the days of where, well, I was like that and was on the FODMAP fructose for years, and I still know there's plenty of ladies out there who have that problem with their stomach swelling up. Don't use white onions. Don't even use red onions. Look at all these onions. Go and get and use the green tops of spring onions. That's what you are. You will know probably that already. Garlic, don't go anywhere near it. You can have plenty of ginger in there. It's not going to do any harm to you. That in there. Tea. This has turned up really high as well. We've got some Airbnbs arriving in a minute.
I was just going to say that. You might have to
Hoof it, move it. We're going to ask to have some of this. One is going to have to say, look, I'm sorry, but for staff at the office.
Has anyone noticed that Louis' pinny's inside out?
It's because I don't like what it says on the other side, and I like black. Butter. We'll put that fenugreek, those little funny seedy things in there, because they're actually quite hard. They're like little stones. You really want to.
Do they soften up? Do they?
You what?
Do they soften up?
I don't know if they do or they don't, but we've never noticed them in there, so they must soften up and do something. It's actually quite a lot harder when you're cooking with a recipe when it's more, like 3 times. I used to do that all the time with making the cheese and making the beetroot and the cumin sauces, which they are actually, we've already got them online, so check out some of the other things that we've actually got our little videos. Used to do that, but just blow up the NutriBullet. Certainly did
You
the
did
Vitamix.
blow up the no, not the NutriBullet, the Vitamix.
Yeah. turmeric. Well, it doesn't matter which order it is, they've all got to go in there.
So you put them in, then mix them. You don't put them all in at once and then mix it?
I just like to make sure that they're mixed well, because I have had it before where you can just taste like a little clump of something, so really like to mix them in well. That is hot, I'll tell you. The cumin. It's so different if you do your own cumin than just buying it as the packet stuff. There's nothing wrong with the packet stuff, it's all good for flavour. It's just there's so much more richer. Is that what
You just
call
heat it.
herbs, richer?
Heat it in the fry pan and then put it through the NutriBullet.
Yeah, through the grinding one to turn it into powder. Or you use that.
Oh, they're here.
Oh my gosh, they're here. Oh, Thomason.
5. There. Yep.
Guess we have to stop, do we?
Right, back in a sec. Oh, you could tell everyone. I wasn't going to say anything. Mental note to self. When the doorbell rings.
Turn the oven off when all the gas when it's on high. Otherwise, you have to just take off the top of the cooking when it's burnt at the bottom. Right, so that's all heating up.
So now it's cooking for 8, not 16.
It's that much. It's only the bottom of it. Just a little bit of water in there so I can keep a track of how hot it is. At the end of the day, I'm not a chef. You need to keep those things. Right, but I haven't forgotten where I was up to. Right, so the basil and coriander. I showed you before, let's give a little bit of a sprinkle around with that one. This one's the cinnamon. We put the cumin in before.
I was wondering if you're going to do the mix technique.
Yeah,
Can that sit
a little bit better. I need a new pan.
You look like you need a new spatula too.
No, this is my father's one. This is perfect. This is the one which you may have all seen before that I like using. Grew up with this. Had a long handle on it, but I like. It's really good because I don't make them with these little handles. Or no handles. More of that in there. More tea. Rightio. Let's get the vinaigrette. We need to know how to say that a bit better. Tomatoes are going to go in soon, but I think it's a good idea to get some of our cayenne and chilli in there. Make sure I don't put, well, don't need to
Don't rub
it,
your
but-
eyes.
Yeah, not that I do. Gonna run out of tea in a minute.
There's the rotis over there in the background.
Yeah. Quite tiring cooking those. They were full on. Well, with the amount which were there, a lot of them. Hope they appreciate it, these agents. I'm sure they will. Ooh. What we haven't got in here is the sweetness. Let's get the. So if you are fructose intolerant, there is a warning. Warning. Do not use this. Use dates. And if you're really severe and just found out that you're fructose intolerant, keep that as a minimum as well. You might need to put bananas inside in this. Okay, it changes the flavour of it, but the flavour changes in all kind of ways when you're fructose intolerant. messy stuff this is, isn't it? And final
Goodness,
one.
how many go in?
Well, because I'm making such a big recipe, 3 in this case. And we haven't got anybody in our office who is plant-based or vegan or vegetarian. We used to have one of the girls was, but she's no longer at our branch. It's quite good having her there and eating the same sort of food. Whoops. Put the mix around. Ooh, look at that, doing its thing. So now, all that mixture of all the different types of tofu I get to go in there, if I can. Tofu soaks up, well you take out all the moisture and it soaks up all the flavour that you've got.
So the tomato will give the
Colour.
sauce and colour.
With a good roll of mix up.
Oh, the spiders have disappeared.
They got hungry, had to wait too long. That's what they said. A couple of sprinkles just for a bit of salt. I'm going to have to try this just to see if I've got enough on there. Try it yourselves too, you will know. And I just like to put in a little bit of lemon juice. And if you want to know all the different kind of ways of how you can use a lemon, check it out on our other videos that we've got.
Or all the different ways that you can obtain lemons. Like when you go out to do your flyers and you come back with a backpack full of lemons.
Try how much of this stuff you're supposed to use, but ooh, it looks quite nasty really. This looks like sugar. Look at it. I'd
Sure,
rather
that's
you-
not the tikka masala one.
Not too late now, it's in there. Ooh, looks like the beetroot. Here we go. And I always get the tomatoes, the ones you have to chop up. I think because somebody said to us, you don't want to get the already cut up ones because you get all sorts of things in them. Especially if you buy them and they're on a good price or on special. Scary, isn't it? Things that people tell us we either believe or don't believe.
It's looking good.
Yeah, I guess it's food colouring really is what that is.
It's sort of soaked straight into a few pieces of tofu that are bright orange.
Yeah, I reckon. We haven't finished there yet because now to tone it down a little bit
Ah,
is the cashew cheese.
and make it creamier or
It-
buttery.
I guess it just gives, for me, I just think it just gives another sort of flavour in there. It's not that you use coconut cream or anything, if that's what you're thinking, because the coconut cream's, that's our other flavours, the one we've got is the Thai one. Look in the Thai one.
Thai. You've done something Thai. Oh, you didn't.
Good. I'll turn that down a little bit.
Look, you've got your penny on.
Yeah.
Oh, that colour's better.
Yeah, it sort of tones it down a little bit. We all know the colour it's supposed to be. Good mix up in there. How are we going colour-wise? Still.
Some bits have just gone bright orange. Once that's mixed in, I think it'll be a better colour.
Yeah, some of them are real bright, aren't they?
It's almost red, isn't it? This.
It is a fruit colouring. We got them in Australia, didn't we?
Synthetic food colour.
Don't want to know. Yeah. It's the only bad thing in our plant-based.
I wonder why we bought it.
Bought it just purely for putting the colour in there.
You probably don't want to know what's in it.
No. It's probably granola or something on it.
Alright, I think we'll be giving that away.
Right. Let's just see what that flavour tastes like. God, it definitely has that buttered chicken flavour. Definitely, without a doubt. And it's quite delicious. Just needs to be a bit hotter.
Isn't chili hot?
Well, it does for us actually, but just temperature hot.
Can you sort that penny out? Looks dreadful.
It does look terrible.
Oh, that tastes good.
It does, doesn't it?
Mm.
You never know what it's going to actually taste like. That definitely.
Could always have more of a kick too. Or is that, have you just not done it as hot?
Well, it doesn't really have enough of a kick for you and me, does it?
Let's give it a bit more.
Definitely, we like a kick in it. Oh well, they don't eat it. So that is going to cook overnight, isn't it? Are you taking some more?
Well, no.
No, but yes.
What are you putting in there?
More chili and cayenne. Kick at the front and the back of the tongue. We've got our rice, which is already cooked, and we've got. Let's just turn that up, shall we?
I'm thinking that's a tikka masala colour. That bright orangey,
It's the one.
fake orangey.
That's the one they said at the time to. I mean, it can be toned down some more. Meaning it can be toned down
I think
with
that
more
looks
cashew
pretty good.
cheese. Yeah,
What do you reckon? Dish her up?
I think so. Rice is ready. And what we're going to do is have our roti with it as well.
Better show off the rotis that we made.
Mm. I did sneak in there the other ones that you won't be very happy that I put in there. You know, the ones which I.
I'm going to take them out first then. Alright, show off these rotis.
How good do they look? And you can freeze these really easily as well. You freeze them and you just bring them out and put them in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Perfect. Alright, wrap this up.
Wrap this up, all right?
No butter, no chicken, butter chicken.
Yeah, if you
Enjoy.
make it, let us know what you think. But you can't find another recipe like this on YouTube. You just have to find this recipe first of all, didn't you? Thanks for watching, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.